What is one piece of technology that you have the highest hopes for, that you think could have the most positive impact on the human condition? What is one technology that you're concerned about, that you think we need to be thinking more about?
So the answer is AI in these different applications. AI might have, it has this great capability of enabling human skills, human creativity, human imagination, because it allows us to delegate all those difficult tasks to a machine. And so the application of AI in science, for example, or in healthcare is an area where I have the greatest hope. I mean, AI might help us in understanding cancer, in curing Alzheimer, dealing with climate change. These are major, major problems with which we have been struggling for decades, centuries, and we might finally have reached the point where we can try to address it properly. At the same time, AI has the ability to enable or magnify human wrongdoing, racism, prejudice, discrimination. Exactly for the same reason. We delegate actions and AI learns from us. So it can actually learn the worst part of humanity and make it even worse by being so efficient. So it's the same technologies, the different applications that make me more excited and worried at the same time.
With me and in the anthropological context in which I work, AI does excite me very much too. One of the questions I have is what can be delegated to the technology and what should not be delegated to the technology? What should be reserved for human beings? There are certain contexts and certain things that really require a human approach and not a machine making a decision based on an algorithm, regardless of how complex the algorithm is, regardless of how much experience in terms of the data that are pulled through to make the automated decision. That human beings, for example, should be making ultimately judgments in tribunals, in courts. It shouldn't be a machine to do that. A human being should be making that decision. For example, trying to provide moderation in a very difficult divorce proceeding. Shouldn't be a machine that makes the decision. Okay, the child will go to the mother. In this situation, the child will go to the father. The algorithm says so, and that's what we're going to do. And this could become extremely problematic. So there are contexts in which the AI can really help move the human condition to allow humans to be more human, to take away some of the tasks, and through robotics and automation, things like those are other opportunities as well. And then there are other areas where I would say AI should be maybe not given the responsibility that humans should be maintaining. So there are tremendous opportunities, but then again, it's very complex and we have to tease out all these various issues to make sure that we don't make a misstep and lead automatically to a very bad condition.
When people think about the fourth industrial revolution, I think one of people's major concerns is that it's going to cause mass unemployment. And so I want to start with you, Mariarosaria. Is this true? Is the fourth industrial revolution going to lead to mass unemployment?
The truth is that we don't know, insofar as we don't have enough data to do appropriate estimates, and the report that we received, or the statistics that we have so far, they are very, very diverse. So it becomes a matter of faith, to be fair. You're going to believe in that statistics, in that analysis or the other. We don't know yet. We know that the AI for sure is going to change the job market in terms of the skills required, in terms of the way we do some jobs, we perform some tasks. And it's important that we understand what will be these changes. And the answer to the question there, whether AI is going to cause mass unemployment, is actually going to be a little bit out of focus. It's more like AI is going to change the way jobs are done in societies. So we need to educate people to work in a different way. So educate people for the new skills that we're going to need. We're going to need engineers, we're going to need data scientists, more than we need, for example, cashiers in supermarkets. So we need to make sure that everybody, the more people are educated in that area. It might be that our work becomes something a bit more efficient, that you don't need anymore to work for 8 hours a day, so you might have more free time. So we need to make sure also that people are able to invest their time in a meaningful way. We always say that AI may support human flourishing by freeing us from tedious tasks or opening up new avenues to explore ourselves. But we haven't done that in history forever. So we need to be ready in that respect as well. And education, I think, plays an important role there, broadly understood. So it's not just what you do at school, but reading book, painting, all those things which we might not be used to, they might become something important again.
So when it comes to 4IR, I think I want to be optimistic, and that technology will actually add jobs, and a lot of people aren't going to be massively unemployed across the planet. But I do watch science fiction, and one of my favorite shows is The Expanse, and in this future reality, 50% of the Earth's population is unemployed. And this causes something of an existential crisis. I'm curious to get your thoughts about that. If we were to have 50% unemployment, should we have a reason to be concerned?
Oh, I would certainly say so, because work is a fundamental vocation of the human being. And if we go all the way back to the book of Genesis, in the Judeo-Christian tradition, God creates Adam, and even before the fall of man, he gives him work. He's the gardener. He's the gardener who is to be the face of God for all the creatures. He's got to till the soil, and now, granted, there's not toil in that the way there is after, theologically speaking, after the fall of man. But there is work, and work is a constitutive of part of his identity. Not that his whole identity should be found there and placed on what particular task he does, but there is an element where it does integrate into who he is as a human person, or who she is as a human person. So in that context, to have work is important. Now, whether that's a paid employment, that's a different story. And a robot certainly could take some of the menial tasks away. But that doesn't mean there'll be less work to do. That the work will have to be retooled, so to speak, I would say. It has to be rethought. It has to be very creatively examined. What are the true needs socially and culturally? It's not that there'll be less to do, but that there's going to be some real change in terms of what can a machine do, and then what now can a human do that it couldn't do before because he had to do the more menial tasks. And so whether it's men or women in the workforce, this is a crucial question, but it shouldn't lead to desperation. I think we should look at this as an opportunity ultimately, to say, okay, this is a place where I have to think in a new way to integrate the artificial intelligence that we have in front of us, or the robot, or the drone, or whatever technology is, if you will, being a threat to my particular sector. What does that leave me to do to be a more creative human being, having that technology as an instrument? And that's, I think, a key anthropological focus that we always have to keep in mind, that artificial intelligence, even if it's digital, algorithmic, it's still an instrument. Man always has to be the final goal, man being male and female in the image and likeness of God that we've been created. So that always has to be the destiny. The technology should never be the end goal and the end point. But how does the human being progress to becoming more human? How does society become truly more good as a communal experience of man and woman across all of cultures, as diverse as they may be? The work is going to be a crucial aspect of that.